me and Eric, we are on the pro-NSA surveillance side. Now, to oppose my opponent's claims, our three claims are the NSA surveillance program is a vital component for safety of the United States against the war on terrorism. It is constitutional to conduct mass surveillance under the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act and the Patriot Act. And it does not infringe on the privacy of all Americans, as most opponents assume. To start off, I'd like to start off with a quote by Jace Riley on the NSA surveillance. And it states, the biggest factor that is for the public's safety. The world is full of unexpected events and people who wish to cause harm to others, so we need to be prepared for any action that may occur. When we tap phones or commit other forms of spying, we can obtain pertinent information that can help us prepare for aggressive actions. Not only can this keep us safe, we could give our other allies the information we obtain. And this leads me into my first claim that I mentioned before, that the NSA is pivotal in undermining possible terrorism in the United States and abroad. In an article by Jay Malcolm, he mentions that the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act enables our intelligence community to gather critical information about our determined adversaries who still actively plot to attack our country with minimal risk of unwarranted invasions of privacy. The protections in existing laws are sufficient to prevent abuse, and Congress should not deny the executive the tools necessary to investigate and prevent potential future acts of terrorism. So, and also according to General Keith Alexander from an article in the New York Times, he notes that the NSA has been involved in foiling over 50 terrorist plots since 9/11, including at least 10 homeland-based threats, but a lot are still kept under, obviously, privacy. The NSA is still a secret organization. So with NSA surveillance, Americans know that they're safe and that a terrorist attack is unlikely to occur like the one that occurred on 9/11. The second claim is that surveillance by the NSA is constitutional under the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. And under FISA, the NSA is legally allowed to target known terrorists or suspects that reside outside of the country and track their calls to and from, whether that is from within the U.S. or not. This is backed by Posner when he states in his article, under the loose supervision of Secret Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, the NSA can search data for evidence of terrorist connections. For example, if the NSA learns that a cell phone number of a suspected terrorist, it can inquiry the metadata for the phone numbers dialed on the terrorist phone, the phone numbers of the phone that called the phone, and other phone numbers associated with the phone numbers. So since 2008, when the law was revised and reenacted, the government is obligated to follow protocol that they cannot spy whenever, wherever they want. Like when the Patriot Act was first installed in 2001 after 9/11, there's actually been a lot of revisions to make it more constitutional. An example of this would be the Attorney General must submit to the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act Court an application for an order, which is known as a mass acquisition order, for the surveillance of the target either before their joint authorization or within 7 days. Any American target by the NSA is because of their connection to known terrorists and because their information was linked. The NSA is actually not allowed to target Americans specifically or anybody within the United States. Our final claim is that the NSA does not infringe on Americans' Fourth Amendment rights. According to the sources, the NSA only collects metadata, which by definition is data that describes other data. So basically the NSA collects locations, phone numbers, connected phone numbers, and call durations. They don't collect any specific, more private information than that, or specific like topics, or basically what the call was about. And so this makes it that there's actually no like searching of every individual, which is basically what my opponent said the Fourth Amendment was no search and seizures are available without warrant. But there's actually no searches going on, it's just collecting the data from the specific phone calls. And also under Section 702 of the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act, there's a provision to protect Americans' rights. It states that the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act is designed to facilitate the acquisition of foreign intelligence information concerning non-U.S. persons located outside the United States. It cannot be used to intentionally target any U.S. citizen, any other U.S. person, or anyone located within the United States. So the only way a U.S. citizen would be getting looked at by the NSA or spied on is if they were seen having known connections, calling known terrorists, or if other links were made.